Hello. Okay. Trying to see if somebody's gonna come in. Babe, can you plug that light up over there? Can you plug the light up over there? Hi, Chris. How are you? Hi, Chris. Give me one quick second. I'm doing good. I can't complain. Okay. So I put the link in the chat. If anyone wants to come in, hello. I want to tell you guys thank you for joining me again. Live with Aisha. Actually, that's not even the name of the channel, but hey, you're live with Aisha. Um, and tonight, we're going to talk about, is it possible? And please excuse the train, y'all. I did not know the train. Um, Now I know. Runs at 7 o'clock on Thursday. Um, we're going to talk about, can you find inner peace from an outside source? And I actually put in the description box that I felt like you can't, and that's just my opinion. Like, I don't have any facts to back it up. Okay, thank you. Let me see, Chris. One quick second. Thank you for telling me that, Chris. Is it still buffering? Am I loud enough? Am I too loud or just right? Okay, thanks. Um, so one of the things that I said was, I don't think you can find inner peace from an outer source. And I know some people can argue with that and say, well, hey, TR, thank you for joining. I know some people can argue with that and say, well, God is an outer source, but I don't see God as an outer source. I see God as an inner source. So, other than that, what else can you get peace from? I know that people do different things like yoga and exercising and um, uh, meditation, but are those things really considered outer sources? So I don't know. I don't have the answer. I want to talk about it though, because I know that sometimes when people are going through things, most times it's an inner struggle more so than it is an outer struggle, and the outer things are what kind of lights the fire to or trigger what's going on inside. So if either of you guys, or I see I have 6 people in with me, thank you guys for coming, would like to talk with me about it and tell me your thoughts, I'd greatly appreciate it. I was gonna go and get all these great quotes, and then I thought about it and I was like, this is still like a question that we would have to ask for, or answer rather, for ourselves, not based upon science, spirituality. I think it's like a true inner being thing. And with that type of peace, I feel that you can be in all type of chaos, but you can make it because of your inner peace. Like it doesn't have to be disturbed. Forgive me. So yeah, I find that a lot of stuff happen, and our reaction to the things that happen kind of determines whether or not we're experiencing peace or not. I know last week I can say that I was in a place of turmoil with the world, like I was in conflict with the world, it would seem. And so my peace was bothered. But the truth is, I still control my peace. Like how I respond to what happened is my responsibility. Is not the responsibility of anybody else. Even with a relationship with a husband and a wife, it's not the husband's responsibility to make the wife happy. It's not the husband's responsibility to ensure that the wife is always in a peaceful state. It's not the wife's responsibility, vice versa, to do the same for her husband. But a lot of times I think we go looking for peace and happiness and joy in all the wrong people and all the wrong things, when it's actually something that we control ourselves. Several examples that I could give, but it goes back to how you look at life. For me, I've always been a glass half full type of person. I'm gonna look for the best in everybody. I'm going to look or hope for the best. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I can read people. I've been that way since I was a child. And when I say read, I don't mean go off. I just like, I don't know, discern. I don't know. I can tell if it's not good for me. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to interact with them though, which that could be the hard-headed side of me. I don't know. It just means that I will proceed with caution versus just turning my nose up at somebody. Because the truth is, people often reflect what they're going through. And so their attitude may be a particular way, or they may be untrusting. They may, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what is wrong with this screen. Can y'all hear me? Okay. So yeah, I would like to know, 7, that's my number. I would like to know the opinions of others, truthfully. I could talk all day about, y'all, that's my baby in the background if y'all hear it. I don't think these are like noise canceling headphones or whatever. So yeah, that's my youngin screaming in the back. Sorry. But I don't think that there's anything or anyone that can give me peace. Thank you, Chris, my fellow Memphian. But I also don't think I should allow something to take my peace. And I think oftentimes we do that, not realizing that some stuff we just don't have control over. As much as we want to be in control, y'all, this picture is like really irritating me. I'm not OCD either. You know? As much as we want to be in control, okay, I'm sorry. As much as we want to be, it was crooked. As much as we want to be in control, we don't get to control everything, and sometimes it's hard. Like I know for me, I'm not the best planner in the world, but I'm and that's crazy. I'm not the best planner in the world. I'm not the best organizer in the world. I am a great visionary. Like I have visions for days. I can even be the worker bee to execute them. But one of the things that I struggle with is, again, controlling my peace and not being so flustered or frustrated. And so I'm the type of person where I may not be the best prepared for a class or a wedding or some other type of event. If it's a dire event, or not a dire event, that's not a, if it's life or death, I can plan for that really, really well. And I call myself doing it as a brace yourself moment. So when it does hit or when it does come, it's not so powerful. But I found out that that is that type of security isn't necessarily what's needed. It's kind of fake. It's a false sense of security. Yeah, because it makes you feel like you're in control. You know what'll happen in this emergency. You know what'll happen in that emergency. You have all these contingency plans set, but when the time comes, you're not able to handle it in that same manner of peace. So, again, the question lies: can you obtain inner peace from an outer source? And I say no, but that doesn't mean that, again, I'm right. I could be so wrong. And if I am wrong, I want to know, because I want to seek the additional peace that I can get, if that makes sense. When it comes to our health and our wellness, peace is important. When it comes to our mental stability, peace is important. When it comes to our relationships with others, be it a friendship, family, marriage, engagement, our peace is important. And so you have to really think about, what do you do to obtain it, and hold on to it and not allow somebody else to take it from you. I am going to give you the definition, because I looked up the definition of peace. And of course, biblically, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. Isaiah 26:3 says God will keep us in perfect peace if our mind is stayed on Him, because we trust in Him. That's a scripture that I held on to for a long time. But everybody doesn't have that relationship. And I think a place of peace, especially coming from someone who is an adult, that has a brain that goes really fast all the time, that's always thinking about different things, how I can improve something, not always feeling like I'm doing the best job, be it in parenting, be it in being a wife, be it in school, as a caregiver. Having those days, it takes a lot to hold on to my peace. And a lot of that requires me learning how to control my mind, my thoughts, and keeping positive thoughts, even in what some will call the worst or a negative situation. But Merriam Webster, good old Sister Miriam, she says peace is a state of tranquility or quiet. Um, that's one definition of it. The second one is freedom from disquieting or oppressive thoughts or emotions. Another is harmony in a personal relationship. The sisters are at peace with each other. Another is a state or period of mutual concord, and that's speaking like from a governmental standpoint. And then as a verb, it is to be calm or keep silence or quiet. And so a lot of times when you think about peace, you can think, especially with somebody that's trying to rattle you or is upset with you or want to argue with you, and you think about peace, they could think you're weak when it's actually you're just at a state of peace and it really doesn't matter to you, or think that you're not knowledgeable to the fact when truthfully your knowledge or using the knowledge that you have at that particular time really isn't going to help or change the situation. So hold on, quick question, forgive me, the chat is not working. Hold on one second, y'all. Okay. Please let me know if that is working. So it seems as if the chat was turned off. But I don't know why, because it did well the other night. Yeah, I'm still learning this system. Oh, but catch me in 365 days from Tuesday. It shouldn't take me a whole year to figure it out. But if it does, then I will go with flow. I'm gonna be patient and I'm gonna be at peace. But yeah. Let me see. I don't know why it wouldn't be working though. Hold on a second, guys. I'm gonna try to come into my own chat. I think YouTube has been cutting up today for everybody. Oh, sorry. Okay. So yeah, I have really rambled my thoughts about peace. Chris TR with all of the wisdom and knowledge that you impart. I would love for you to come and talk about peace. Chris, I would love for you to come and talk about peace. I got a feeling my daughter's gonna bust through that door, y'all. And truthfully, anyone else that would like to come on. Because here's the thing, if I knew the full answer, I wouldn't have asked the question. But that's just my thought. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right, but that's my thought. That's been acting up for everyone. That's not cool. I'm wondering if it's because we have all these different shelter at home, is that what it's called, in place, and so people are just resulting to getting on YouTube versus watching television, because I know I've done a lot of um, watching of live streams versus television because that's the only true interaction I've really been getting with outside people. So I don't know. Um, but yeah. And then there's, I mean, I can always go spiritual with you. There's another that talks about God will give you the peace that surpasses all understanding. But again, for me, God is an inner thing. It's not an outer being. Our actions can show God, but I still think it's an inner being once you accept. So, for those that don't believe in God or those that don't believe in a higher being, how do you obtain your peace? Um, or do you obtain peace? That's another good question. Do you feel that you obtain peace? Do you feel that you're at that you experience turmoil sometimes with yourself? Um, because even though I know I'm in control of my inner peace, I still have inner conflict. Like, being responsible for my inner peace does not stop me from having inner conflict. I had an inner conflict today about doing this live because there were so many things going on that I could have discussed in the entertainment world, um, from the jam session and people referencing it as sorcery and witchcraft to Boosie and him getting his 12-year-old son, an adult person, to basically molest him. Um, but at the same time, I just wanted to talk about this instead because I knew that those were some things that wouldn't put me at a peaceful place. Hey, Chris.
You know what? You the first person I got on that string. Y'all I knew exactly who I was by the initials.
Oh, well, I come from the generation, you probably do too, though, where they taught us how to, because these kids don't do it. What is it called? Critical thinking on the fly. The younger generation don't know how to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was coming up here to show you some love. This topic ain't really one of my topics, so I can't just really speak on it. But
Really.
yeah, but I'm glad to see that you lied though. So I was coming here to show you a little support.
Well, I appreciate the support, but why do you? So do you not have peace?
I who?
I said, so do you not have peace?
I would like to think I do.
How do you get it? Do you get it from an outside source? Is it something that you do?
Oh well, if you were looking at it like that, it's something that I do. I'm pretty much the type of person that like to keep to itself. Honestly, I don't. I guess doing the media thing over here is different than in the outside world. Because on the media, I can talk to a lot of people, but on the outside world, I ain't got to be around a lot of people. If that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and you know, in this era that we in, when you go on my channel, you hear me talk about this a lot. Being around a crowd of people, it just ain't no good thing. It used to be once upon a time ago where everybody like they got sense, but for some reason all that's going out the window now. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say this the best thing right here to find your peace, and on top of that, you gotta have thick skin when you're doing stuff like this, like I was telling you earlier when I talked to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you gotta have thick skin, so you got a lot of stuff that comes with the territory when you're doing vlogging and doing
Mm-hmm.
live streams. But I gotta give it to you though. Here's why I say I don't know if I could do this or not. You got people that's watching, but ain't nobody really chatting. But I can understand because you new to it, they trying to feel you. So you probably
Yeah.
gonna have nobody say something no time soon unless somebody already know you. But you is hanging in there, actually still talking to me. I probably been cut it off by now. I be like, y'all finna talk, boy. I'm finna shut this damn thing down. But the fact that you sitting up here and still talking, and you to ask a couple of questions, ain't nobody said no. Hey, I can't do no but respect you for that. But like they say with everything, you got to crawl before you walk.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes,
I
sir.
commend you for still talking.
Yes,
And
sir.
ain't nobody really saying that. I definitely commend you on that. So, and you're doing a good job.
Oh, thank
You're doing a good
you.
job. And I don't think you looking at the chat. Doing a good job. I don't think you actually looking at the chat. So I think you just keep on talking, and I guess you think about what the next thing to say, and you gonna let it say. So, hey, I gotta commend you for it. But somebody like me who's been doing it for a minute,
Hmm.
yeah, if I had people over there that weren't saying nothing, somebody better say something.
So for
You
me, I figured I was like, that was Tuesday when I said it. I was like, of course, people talk about being monetized and all that, and yeah, that's great. I said, but I may sound cliche. My thing is, if I can um, come across positive to one person, brighten one person's day, then I've done um, a
Absolutely,
job. You know what I'm saying? Like, or
absolutely.
found a purpose. Because before now, what many don't know is I'm a stay-at-home mom because I'm a caregiver um, to a daughter that really needs me, as well as my brother. And when I had my daughter, there was an intent for me to go back to work. That was 8 years ago. Um, and it didn't work out that way. And so to have been somebody that's always worked, always had a pretty decent job, to just being at home and caring for somebody else, you got to have an outlet to talk to.
Hmm. And a lot of people do this, what I'm saying, because it's a venting process as well. But you still got to be careful what you let out about yourself, because when you develop enemies, which I'm pretty much sure that comes with the territory too. Ain't no pretty much
Mm-hmm.
sure. Ain't no pretty much sure it does come with the territory. Anything, just like the law, anything you say can and will
And
be
it will be
used
used
against
against
you.
it.
So be careful what you put out about yourself. I only put out so much. Um, and I try to be careful with that as well. But like, don't anybody can tell you when I do my shows, if I'm talking about something and it reminds me of an experience that I have, then I tell about the experience that I have on the subject that I'm talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
to put out everything about me like some people do, but then get whining and crying and when they use it against them,
Mm-hmm.
well, that's your fault because everything don't needs to be on YouTube. I mean, we all like to vent, but shit, everything don't got to be on YouTube though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I don't know you allowed cussing on your panel. So
Um, you can cuss.
oh, okay.
You're fine. You're an adult. I'm not gonna tell you. Free.
Yeah, but whoever listening, if they don't know me, they ain't heard my mouth. So I don't want to get over here
Um,
and be disrespectful. I'm on a different platform. So
yeah, yeah. Well, I've been to your platform, and you said nothing less than my mom would have said, or more.
so
But yeah,
okay.
no. For me, it's all about one, talking, two, like bringing awareness to different things, um, three, being a face for awareness for different things. Because truthfully, how many times can you go to YouTube and, let's just say, mental health? Let's say I'm talking about peace. How often can you do that? And it's a content creator that's not trying to sway you to um, be religious, because I'm not trying to get you to extend the invitation. Come on in, and the door is always open. I'm not trying to. I'm just seriously having the conversation, because there are a lot of people that struggle with peace, um, and don't realize that you will have some inner conflicts, but you're still responsible for your inner peace. Like,
Mhm.
you have to know how to calm yourself. You have to know how to regulate, self-regulate. And I get it. Some people are born without the ability to, and that's just the truth. Some people are born without the ability to. But in that situation, as parents, we have to notice that in our children. As adults, we have to notice it in ourselves. Like, hey, okay, obviously I'm too stressed because everything is making me snap real quick.
Yeah.
But it's imperative that we do those things because, again, we're responsible for how we respond to others and how we maintain our peace. Like that affects our health, our blood pressure, our glucose levels, and everything else when our emotional state is out of whack.
Right. Right. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. To agree
So
with you.
yeah.
But dear, I came here to show you some love. I'm actually doing some things on the computer now. I ain't just been feeling so good today, but I think I'm better now. I don't know what was that all about, but I've been
That
kind of
good
laying down all day.
pollen. Oh, well, I pray that you definitely start to really feeling better. Um, look forward to your next video. Uh,
Well,
yeah.
depending on how I'm feeling, maybe sometime tonight, maybe now. That's a big if, maybe.
Okay.
But because I got a couple of updates. Well, I want to talk about. I want to update on their brother that got shot and killed.
Hmm.
And I got somebody who been sending me the story about the Breonna Taylor situation. I think that what little I heard about that. Wow, that was kind of
I saw it today.
wow. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. From
Yeah,
what I heard, I haven't seen the video, but from what I heard,
I didn't see the video.
how they just bum rushed in the house like that.
Yes.
Man, Jesus
Yes.
Christ.
I read it on something today, and I was just like, "Oh my God!" Because it was you that or said something about it, and I was like, "No, I don't know nothing about that story," and I
Right.
hadn't seen it, and today was the first time I saw it. And again, that's how I had to control my inner peace. I couldn't go looking for the videos. Um, I couldn't.
I don't think you might get in the video that show the actual footage unless the police
Body cam.
got the body cams on there, which I'm
Hmm.
pretty much sure they're gonna release that sometime
Oh
soon.
Lord, yeah,
And I can just imagine what it looked like. I can just imagine.
yeah, and to say apparently, I don't even want to get into that. Yeah. Mm-mm. I mean, because like, how many more times you got Botham Jean,
But
Thomas Jefferson, like
crazy as that sound though, I never heard of anything like that happening down here in Memphis.
it did. I don't know if you remember, Officer. Lord, her name is slipping my mind just that quick. No. Oh God, what was her name? Officer.
Oh, the female cop, she got shot down here or something.
They went into the
Okay,
house on a raid. And
I think I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, I remember what you're
yeah,
talking
and that was the whole thing. The guy did either he shot or the roommate shot. I'm not 100% sure, but they claimed that they didn't say it was the police. They thought somebody was breaking in on them. Um, though even with that story, I refused to dig because apparently ballistics came back and um, yeah,
about. Okay.
we can talk about that one off air.
Right. Well, I'm
Yeah.
going on off here there and get through working on this computer, but keep doing what you're doing. I'm liking this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I tried to get my daughter to come on with me tonight because she had a whole lot to say about Boosie, and I was gonna let her talk, but she was like, "No, Mama, I don't feel like it." I was like, "Okay,
Oh boy.
okay."
Keep it up. Like I said, you doing a good job. Cause if this hadn't been me, ain't nobody talking, I would have had a problem. But you doing damn good. So hey, shout out to you.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna give them the consistent hour, and yeah, at 8 o'clock, I'm up out of here.
All
No,
right,
yeah.
then you take care.
Okay,
Take care.
thank you. I
All
appreciate
right.
you. Bye.
All right.
That was Chris of the Chris Thorne Show. If you guys hadn't seen any of his content, he has great shows, great interviews. He just did a show, I want to say last week, with a young man that is part of the original Black Panthers in Virginia, I believe. And then he did an interview with a guy a couple days before that actually videoed. Well, he didn't video. He was on the scene of the massacre that happened. Oh, I can't remember what state it was in, where the guy killed his family and basically called the police and said, hey, I killed my family. And so he was able to interview one of the young men that was really trying to get help, trying to get masks out there because there were so many people crowded around, no masks, trying to get water to the family. Um, his brother stayed downstairs, if I'm not mistaken, and his brother was just losing it in the police. I mean, like, I've never seen a young man be so, man, how can I, like, it was just, it was so much, again, establishing his own inner peace because there was so much turmoil happening around him, and even to see his brother on the ground, and his brother, the police are holding him down, and there's another police officer trying to prevent him from crossing the line, but because he's been respectful the entire time, they've allowed him to, they're allowing him this little leeway, and he's just telling his brother, look at me, stop, look at me, that requires an inner peace, like you because yeah, I don't know that I could see my brother lay down on the ground and not run over there. So yeah, but he has some great interviews, and he's from Memphis. So I definitely try to support local channels, and he's been very helpful and insightful. And that's something I can appreciate, considering that most people won't try to share information with you. Same thing with TR. Like, TR is the reason I have a channel up today. So if you're not subscribed to the TR show or the TR news and reviews, I suggest that you do. He is one of the many reasons that I am up and running today, but he walked me through it. He encouraged me through it. He just was like, and didn't do it for fee, didn't charge, didn't, and it's like, you should be charging for what you're doing. Like, this isn't something people just do for free. So we have a challenge going. Now, I don't know how well it's gonna work, but I told TR that I would like, if he's watching, I know he's laughing. I said, I want to hit 10,000 subscribers in a month. And he was like, yeah, the only way you'll be able to do that is if you, what did he say? If you do something that's probably not right or something. He said, or provide sexual content. And I don't suggest the latter. Or either. And so I was like, well, I tell you what, if I hit 10,000, then you have to market yourself and actually make this a business, because the amount of help that he gave me, yeah, people don't just give that out for free. And I think sometimes I know sometimes, and this is me talking to myself, we don't realize that our time has a value to it, and we should. Now, whether we're donating it by volunteering, or actually doing a job, every breath that we take, every moment that we're in, it's valuable. So something of value should be happening during that time, be it you taking in more knowledge, be it you doing for somebody that's older than you, taking care of the widows and the poor. But yeah, we have to realize that our time is valuable, and I'm poor at that. I will spend my energy doing any and everything for someone, and not because I expect anything back, but because, I want to honor God, and that's the right thing to do. And then that I have to question, but am I being a good steward over what God has given me to do if I'm continuously putting myself out, but not putting value on it? Some stuff is priceless, but some stuff, if God has given you the gift, and that is your, it was Bishop Bernard Jordan that said, and this is perfect for this. So it was Bishop Bernard Jordan that said, you will be at peace Mm, yeah, I got notes. You will truly find peace when you satisfy your soul's purpose. And that is another thing that made it, um, I don't want to say easy for me to come to YouTube, because it wasn't easy. Um, yeah, I do Facebook, and I may tell a story or something that happened or is going on during that time, or a revelation that I may have experienced. Um, but that's different typing it than it is like looking at the actual camera, looking at who that there are people in the chat, and not knowing, who these people are. It could be a friend, or it could be a stranger, or it could be a foe, but being willing to be open and vulnerable enough just to share um, my thoughts, just to share my experiences. Because again, if I can be that person um, that prevents you from breaking your ankle, from stepping in the same hole that I stepped in, and it caused me to break my ankle, then I want to say, hey, there's a hole there. Don't go. Keep walking. Go around the other way. That's just who I am. Um, and so I want to make sure I'm quoting him right. And what's crazy is I've heard what people say about him, but I've never went to research him for myself. And that is because he has truly been feeding my soul. And I don't want to, again, mess with my peace by hearing or seeing something negative. But that soul's purpose is just, yeah, your soul, SOULS. Um, and that's where you'll have peace when you satisfy your soul's purpose. Um, and so I feel like this is my soul's purpose. I one thing my husband can tell you, but he's not in here with me. He is on the chat, I think. But like, I've gotten joy from the moment of me just saying, okay, God, I'm gonna do it. But it's never my intent to be here and to make you think that I'm perfect, that I have everything figured out, that life is peaches and cream, um, that I don't have any troubles. No, the goal is to always be transparent. The goal is to let you know what I'm feeling, without fear of being outcast or stoned to death, but also to create a platform where people can express what they're feeling, um, a difference in opinion, without being stoned or without being outcast. And some people spirit just is gonna hate it because it irritated them. But in the words of the great Pastor Eric D. Miller, sometimes you just gotta love the hell out of people. And over here at this channel, that's what you're gonna get. I'm gonna love the hell out of you. Because again, I know that love conquers all. And I'm a firm believer of that. That love conquers all. Love can get you through anything. Love is what can make you stay when everything else is saying go. So yeah, and it's unfortunate that everybody doesn't get an opportunity to experience that type of love. But here's the thing with that: you don't have to experience love to give love. Um, you, and I'll say it again: you don't have to experience love to give love. I think we're born um, with the ability to love, and I think life circumstances shape us um, to love or not love. I know for myself, I was the first person to say to someone, um, I love them. Neither one of my parents told me first. I told each of my parents first that I love you. It wasn't something that you heard um, commonly said when I was growing up. It was just understood because I provide for you, I do this for you, that I love you. But love is so much more than provision. Yeah, you take care of the things that you love, but it's so much more than provision. And so you don't have to experience it to give it. But once you start giving it, you begin to experience it anyway, whether you want to or not. And so there was another issue again with me that I had to address inside was I could extend love, but it was hard for me to accept it. It was hard for me to trust it. It was hard for me to believe it, that it existed. Um, and even as an adult, when my husband and I got married, I love that man. Oh my God. Like no ifs, ands, buts about it. I love that man. But I had made a commitment to myself and to God about our marriage. And I would always say, I trust the God in you. Um, because I had a issue with trusting people. And you can't be that way. Like that's not peace. That's not walking in peace. That's not living in peace if you can't trust someone. Um, and so I feel sorry for those who have gone through life and have either not experienced love or didn't know what love was when it was presented to them. Because sometimes people love, hi TR, please come on the platform. I've talked about you, um, and just how great you are. And I think people need to see how great you are. Um, Hold on, let me put the link in the chat. Um, but some people don't know that love, what it feels like, and had actually experienced it and didn't realize until it was too late. Um, and love was gone, that they had actually experienced love. So again, um, it's an inner thing that you have to um, know. You have to know. And it all goes back to knowing yourself. And my hope and my prayer is that no one goes majority of their life without knowing themselves and without knowing the things that they love, and the things that make them happy, um, and how to create your own happiness, because no one else is responsible for it. Like it's your responsibility to make yourself happy. Is your responsibility, um, to control your peace. You can't put it on anybody else, and that's why you got to control your eye gates, your ear gates, on the things that you allow yourself to watch, the things you allow yourself to hear, because they do affect your peace, whether you know it or not. It affects your peace, which I could totally go back to the jam session yet again, just because they did it for the culture, and it was just for me to see two women feeding off each other, hyping each other. It was just amazing. It was just like this. It was a lot for me to take in. The, it was like a plate of food, um, depending on the type of food that you like. And so I'm from the South, so it was like some greens, with meatloaf, with macaroni and cheese, peach cobbler, and some sweet tea, all at the same time. Like it just a lot for your palate. And so for me, it helped. It helped, um, me to look at things a little differently. It helped with some of my frustration, that I was feeling about the two young men. It helped me sort through my thoughts of them, and the fact that we saw both of them get shot, um, basically on live. It helped me deal with the frustration of I have two sons here. Have I led them astray? Did I raise them wrong? Because I taught them to love everybody. Um, and so that's what I received from that. It gave me an inner peace. But there were some people who felt like it was witchcraft, felt like it was sorcery, felt like it was so dark, and um, it was demonic. Like I've seen so many posts that was almost my content for tonight. But again, I'm trying to stay away from entertainment. However, I'm probably gonna have to do that one just because I got to do it for the culture. And so that's probably what Saturday's topic is going to be about. And it's not a probably, pretty sure is what it's going to be about because I got to get that off my chest. Like those two women, queens, sisters, blessed us with something during a week that was absolutely horrible. And I don't even know if many of you even remember this, but it was a year. We've just had a year anniversary to the Malia Davis disappearance, and just in between her losing her life, so many other children have lost their lives from, I didn't even want to say the baby's name. I called her Sweet Baby on Tuesday, but then her dad get on Facebook and cut up yesterday from Cupcake, Camille McKinney, to Taylor Rose. Like, I don't get it. Like, what does it? How can a person hurt a child to that degree? And you may say, to that degree, well, I've had my experiences. So again, to that degree where they've taken the child's life. And it's horrible. To even look at, or to just think about, and these aren't teenagers, not to say that it's okay, but these are toddlers basically, and there's nothing okay about that. And so we live in a world where there's so much unrest, there's so much evil, there's just a lot. And so it's easy to take that stuff in, it's easy to take it in, it's easy to breathe it in, it's easy to live it out and be anxiety feel and anxiety written. But you got to control your eye gates and your ear gates in order to be able to be who you're supposed to be during this time, because you can only operate from a place of peace. And what I mean by that is I can't go and protest out of anger, because then my mind isn't at a place where I'm thinking methodically or thinking with great intent. At that point, I'm thinking recklessly. So even to protest, you can't do it in anger. You gotta find a place of peace. I can use the Ahmaud Arbery's hunting is what I called it as an example, and it disturbed my peace greatly. What, but even from a place of peace. So let me say that my first thought was, let's go do a citizen arrest. That's what they were doing, right? So let's go do a citizen's arrest. And was I angry? Mm-hmm. But even after that, my soul found peace with, let's go do a citizen's arrest. That's the law, right? And the law applies to both of us. So again, it's just, we control our inner peace. We control what we receive. We control what we allow to come in. We control what we put out. Um, so yeah, nothing outside of me is responsible for me having peace. That is my responsibility. I have to seek out the places for it. Um, I have to control the things that I hear. I have to control the things that I see. Even with myself and my husband, like my husband loves The Walking Dead. My kids do too, actually. But I can't watch that before going to bed. I just cannot. Um, that's not what I want on my mind. Um, the let's see, Walking Dead. What is? Oh my God, the worst for me is basketball, and I can't speak for anybody else. But the screeching sound of tennis shoes on a basketball court, the worst. Um, so yeah, that's just kind of a little bit about me and my peace. Um, and I know that I'm responsible for my inner peace, and I pray that you guys know that you are too. And in me saying that, I pray that it doesn't come across so heavy that someone feels like, oh my God, I'm never going to have peace. That's not the case. Um, it's all about perspective and how you look at it. And I just think about how many times people have down Oprah and her thought process of what you put out into the universe is what you get back. But that's still no different than God saying, the Bible telling us the power of life and death lies in the tongue. So we have to be positive. We have to um, speak it into existence. There's a song, I think it's by Dorinda Clark. I could be wrong, but in the testimony, basically it says, you got to see it before you see it, or you never will see it. Like, so is that not willing something into existence? Um, the Bible even says faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And I'm sorry, y'all, because I really try not to go that route. But again, transparency, who I am, and I'm not forcing it on you. But again, with faith, you have to see it before you see it, or you never will see it. Um, and so, with that, that allows me to know that, okay, yeah, I don't even know the Bible like this. I promise you're not a Bible fellow. But it just goes back to Paul. I reckon that the sufferings of this present time cannot be compared to the glory of God that is within me. And so those are the things that I use. That's what helps me to move forward. But not only that, I can think of the older things my grandmama would say, like, trouble don't last always. The football player who lost his wife after, I think it was 11 days of marriage, said that he's never seen a storm cloud hang over one house too long. So I guess where I'm going with this is, yes, we can be in dark moments. Yes, we can go through some things. Yes, we can have some things that agitate our peace, that agitate our being. But it's our responsibility not to stay there. If I can tell you anything, and it's probably something that I will announce on a regular basis, is open your blinds. You don't ever have to get out the bed, but just open your blinds. That is the first step. Let the sun come in. And I'm talking about the sun. Just open the blinds and let the sun come in. And that's the first step to finding your inner peace. I said that each broadcast I would recognize a local small business or a subscriber that has a small business. And that I was going to change it. But what I'm going to do is one business per week. So it is still the Bubba Bistro today, and it'll be the Bistro Saturday. I'll try to put out some content with different products that she has, tell you the different fragrances that I love. I may even on the community wall put the link along with some of my favorite fragrances. and things that I like to use. I will say one of the greatest products that I've found thus far, which all of the products are good, but with me having a child that does have some real high in energy. She's big on aromatherapy and putting things together that smells so good but also work on the body so well. So I suggest that you guys go over to bubblebistro.com, look at her different options. I will tell you that someone will win something from the Bubble Bistro on Saturday. Not gonna tell you the rules of the game. You just got to be here, or maybe you had to be here. I don't know, but I'll announce Saturday what that is, and then each week, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to support that business by blessing one of you. So my hour is up. I did it. This is day 2. Yes, day 2 of my live. Can I find maintain or obtain inner peace from an outside source? And since no one came on to dispute that, I say absolutely not. We are responsible for our own peace. And with that being said, this is Aisha. That's my unprofessional opinion. Peace, love, soul. Until Saturday. Bye.